राधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि जयो श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जयो श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Jai Shri Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Jai Shri Radhe Govinda, Jai Shri Gauranitai, 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 Jai Shri Gauranitai, Jai Shri La Prabhupada, 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 Jai Shri La Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. It's going to be another beautiful session. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. I'll just share the PDF. Okay. So we know that, the principal mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to preach Krishna consciousness. And today we are reading this book, right? It's so easy for us to get access to this book. We can read, we have technology, it's online, you can even purchase the book. But, to print this book, Prabhupada had really had to go through trouble, because when he wanted to print this book, he had to really ask for donation. He said, I want to print this book. Can one of you devotees who have assembled here, help me with this? So they got the funds. One devotee in the gathering actually offered his savings, and later on they found out that devotee had some kind of, illness, terminal illness. He was working for the army, and the army had asked him to take retirement and take the money and go get treatment. So that money he had donated for this. When Prabhupada came to know about this, he said, please return it. This is for him. Let us not take this. Somehow collect the funds and return it to him. So all the devotees, all his disciples did that. They took the money and found this person, returned the money. But when he was in Mumbai on some work, he got an envelope with a check in it. That same devotee had given that money back, saying that, this is for you. This is for the, whatever. This is my contribution. Then Prabhupada felt he has returned this. Let's find this person. Try to contact him. When they contacted, they found out he was not there. He had passed away. So then they were his contribution. It really helped to print books and all that. That's how it was. It was not so easy to print books and get this into the market. So today we are very lucky, we have easy access to all this literature. So we'll start from where we stopped yesterday. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Before starting this Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Prabhu used to sing a song, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. I'll unmute you all. You can also sing. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Do you know about that?
Jaya Jaya
Yes,
Shri
Mataji.
Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya
Jaya
Shri
Advaita Chandra Jaya
Advaita
Gaura
Jaya
Bhakta
Gaura
Vrinda.
Bhaktavrinda
Jaya Jaya
Jaya Shri
Shri
Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya Nityananda Jaya
Jaya
Dvaita Chandra
Advaita
Jaya
Chandra
Gaura
Jaya
Bhakta
Gaura
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhaktavrinda
Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to travel, he used to travel a lot. And sometimes there was a time when he went to South India. He was in South India. He stayed at somebody's place, visited temples and all. He used to sing Krishna Krishna song a lot. Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Hey Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshamam Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam. So let's begin. So just to meditate on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's start now. Rekha Mataji's hand was raised. Is she here? Does she want to read?
Hare
Mataji, do you
Krishna
want to start
Mataji.
reading?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, my daughter was ready to do some kirtan, so I raised her
Okay.
hand. It's okay,
That's
Mataji.
okay.
I'll read. From where,
Okay, sure,
Mataji? That
Mataji. She'll
Vishnu?
sing tomorrow. We'll join a little early, like at 2:50, and she can sing Mataji.
Oh,
Thank you so
sure,
much.
Mataji. Sure, Mataji. Thank you. Shall I read from that Vishnu?
Yes, Mataji, we'll read from there.
Okay. Can you zoom a little bit, Mataji? It's a bit smaller.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, okay. Okay, Mataji. That Vishnu, when there is a need of material creation, expands himself as Mahavishnu, who lies down on the casual ocean. From his nostrils, all the universes are breathed out. From that casual ocean, all the universes have sprung up, and this universe also is floating in that casual ocean. Outside is water. You have seen the picture of Vamanadeva when he expanded his leg up to the covering of the sky of this universe. There was a hole there, and through that hole, Karuna water leaked in, and a little drop is flowing as the river Ganges. Therefore, the Ganges is accepted as the most sacred of water of Vishnu and is worshipped by all Hindus, from the Himalayas down to the Bay of Bengal. The Mahavishnu lying on the casual ocean is a planetary expansion of Rama. This Rama, when we say Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, this Rama means the Sankarshana, Nityananda. The author of Chaitanya Charitamrita describes what is beyond this material expansion. The cosmic material expansion is called Maya because it has no external existence. It is sometimes manifested and sometimes not manifested. Therefore, it is called Maya. Krishnadas now says, beyond this manifestation, in the Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, it is explained that there is another nature which is eternal and which is beyond Bhakta and Abhakta. Bhakta means manifested and Abhakta means unmanifested. This material world has a manifested aspect and a potential state, which is called non manifested. Beyond both the potential non manifested stage and the manifested stage, there is another spiritual nature.
Sorry, Mataji, please unmute and read. There was some disturbance, so I muted everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I got. We can understand this superior nature as the living force that is described in the Bhagavad Gita. The living force is manifest in this body. This body is of the inferior nature, matter. The superior nature is the spirit that is moving the world. The symptom of that superior nature is consciousness. Similarly, beyond this material nature, there is another superior nature which is conscious. There everything is conscious. We cannot imagine that. Here the objects are not conscious, but in the spiritual world the table is conscious, the land is conscious, The tree is conscious. Everything is conscious. Now, you cannot imagine how far this material manifestation is extended. You have no measurement. Everything is calculated by imagination or by some imperfect method. But here we are getting information of what lies beyond this. Those who believe in experimental knowledge may inquire, how is it possible? We cannot calculate how far this universe is extended, and we cannot reach even the nearest planet. So, how is it that we can obtain information beyond this material nature? That is, that which is beyond your inconceivable power is called achintya, inconceivable. What is inconceivable? Don't argue about it. It is useless. How can you? It is inconceivable.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
So
Krishna.
matter is dead. This material creation, as is, if it is full of matter, then matter is dead. What is making it living? What is making it moving is the consciousness, the spirit. So body is dead actually. I'm talking, I'm moving my hands, or whatever activity I do is because of the soul and the consciousness. Consciousness is the symptom of the soul. So we know that. So if we cannot even analyze how big our material creation is, forget material creation, our own universe is, then there is really, it's impossible to even understand what's beyond. So it's beyond the power of our conception. So there is no point arguing and all that. So we have to just understand some things. And there is some information about Mahavishnu and Garbhodaksha Vishnu and Karanadaksha Vishnu and all that. That will come now in the next few paragraphs. We have to just understand those. That's all. We cannot analyze, or there is no point trying to find out is that true or no, because whatever is given to us is given from the scriptures, and we have to just read it and understand. So let's go ahead. Who wants to read next? Sapna, do you want to read from here? Please go ahead. That which is inconceivable.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
That which is inconceivable to your limited energy with limited sense perception, how can you reach that plane by argumentative logic? Don't argue them. How is it known? Accept it. The Bhagavad Gita says it has to be understood by the disciplic succession. Just as Brahma, the original creature, was given lessons by Krishna. Brahma imparted those lessons to his disciple Narada, and Narada imparted that knowledge to his disciple Vasadeva. Vasadeva imparted that knowledge to his disciple Madhavacharya. Madhavacharya on down to Madhavendra Puri, who imparted the same lesson to Ishvara Puri, and Ishvara Puri imparted the same lesson to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. People may ask that if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, then why did he need a spiritual master? Of course, he did not need any spiritual master, but just because he was playing Acharya, teaching how to behave in spiritual life, he accepted a spiritual master. Even Krishna accepted a spiritual master. That is the system. If you want to know that which is inconceivable, you must accept the disciplic succession. Because the knowledge is coming down from the Supreme, down, 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 it is perfect. Suppose 100 generations before there was something confidential that your forefather told his son, which has finally been passed down to you. Although you are not in touch with the direct personality, yet because it is coming through disciplic succession, the same truth is expressed. How was Brahma informed of this sort of knowledge? That is also stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. The original learned scholar is Brahma, and Krishna, the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, impressed transcendental knowledge into the heart of Brahma by the heart. So two processes of knowledge exist. One process depends upon the supreme personality of Godhead as the super soul seated within you. He informs you, and he also expands himself as a spiritual master. The Guru also informs you. So
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So it's given here how the knowledge was passed on from Brahma to and then here Ishvara Puri is mentioned, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru. And not only that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually gave all this knowledge, and also he gave Sanatana Goswami, he instructed him to do a lot of work. why is it so? Because, all these disciples who come under the spiritual master, they are actually instruments of the spiritual master. And spiritual master himself is the representative of the Lord. So that's how it is. So like how Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter teaches us, Krishna says, Arjuna, you are an instrument in my hand. And, I have already done all this, nobody is going home. So you have to be an instrument. You can choose to be an instrument, or you can make your own decision. But ultimately, we are all instruments in the hands of the Lord. So similarly, all these disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were trying to be these instruments in his hand. And Sanatana Goswami once, he was not well and he was actually feeling very dejected. He was thinking, how can I serve my master? I'm becoming so useless. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually encouraged him a lot. He said, no, you have to do it. And he said, doing this 9 stages of 9 forms of devotional service, that's the only way you can reach Krishna. He gave him all the information. Whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami is what Krishna told Arjuna. So the information is same, So it's like same thing was narrated, instructed to Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they were the main Goswamis. They did a lot of development in Mathura and Vrindavan. Mathura and Vrindavan are abodes of the Lord, Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to develop that and excavate and, make it very nice for the devotees to worship and come and stay there and, take the blessings and everything. So they had, great duty to perform. They actually took all his instructions and helped him a lot. Served their master. It's the, when we're chanting also, we say we cannot chant, right? So that is the first step to devotional service. And we say we cannot chant. But we should understand when we are chanting, the mood is such that we are asking Krishna, engage me in your service, engage me in your service. Every mantra we say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you're saying that, our thoughts are such that our mood and our consciousness should be such that we are asking Krishna, engage me in your service. I want to serve you somehow or the other. Please give me your service. Because if our consciousness is, understands that we are the servants of the Lord, then everything, falls into place. Our healing also begins, because all of us are healing from different things. We are always like during the day, that is not done, this work is not done, that problem comes up, this is happening, that is happening. So our attention goes everywhere. But if we understand our constitutional position is only, Krishna's servant, Lord's servant, all we have to do is serve him. And again, chanting is for Krishna, give me your service. So, we finish 16 rounds or whatever, 20 rounds or whatever, mechanically, as if we're not doing Ashtanga Yoga. So there's no like sitting and just doing, Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare, like that. No. But if we are doing like, properly in the proper mode, we get that into our, mind and consciousness, then we will be very happy. We'll be doing it with a lot of joy. And when suddenly somebody says, can you do this for Krishna? We won't say, no, thank you. Because we know we are doing it for the Lord, and that's our primary duty. So it's very important to understand that. Kirti Mataji, Hare Krishna. I'll unmute you, Mataji, just a minute.
Sorry, Mataji, I couldn't unmute.
Yes, Mataji, I've muted everyone. Sorry. Yes,
Krishna accepted?
I think, how was Brahma informed of this knowledge from there?
How was Brahma informed of this sort of knowledge? That is also stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The original learned scholar is Brahma, and Krishna, the supreme absolute truth. The personality of Godhead impressed transcendental knowledge into the heart of Brahma. By the heart, so two processes of knowledge exist. One process depends upon the supreme personality of Godhead as the super soul seated within you. He informs you, and he also expands himself as the spiritual master. The guru also informs you. So in both ways, from within and from without, the information is transmitted. We simply have to receive it. If we receive knowledge in this way, it doesn't matter that it is inconceivable. In the Bhagavatam, you will find much information about the Vaikuntha planetary systems, which are beyond the material universe. Just as with Chaitanya Charitamrita, the knowledge is there, and you simply have to take it, but you have to receive it by the parampara system. You cannot approach the truth, which is inconceivable, to your experimental knowledge. It is not possible. We want to know everything by experimental knowledge. That is foolishness. It is not possible. According to the Vedic way, sound is evidence. Sound is very important in Vedic understanding. Sound is evidence. If sound is pure in the material world, also you understand things thousands of miles away simply by sound vibration. As soon as you call by telephone or radio, there is sound. In San Francisco, 3,000 miles away, as soon as you receive the sound, Mr. Such and such speaking, you understand. The evidence is sound. Which is the informant? Is he standing there before you? No. But as soon as you hear the sound, you know. Sound is the most authoritative evidence. These things are received by sound vibration. Shall I continue, Mataji?
One more paragraph, Mataji. Thank you so much. We have the information.
We have the information that beyond this cosmic manifestation, there are very extensive Vaikunthas. This material manifestation is only 1/4 of the manifestation. There is not only this universe, but there are innumerable universes. Just as there are innumerable planets within this universe, so this is only one cosmos. There are innumerable universes, and all combined together, they are 1/4 of the manifestation of the creation. The other 3/4 of the manifestation is Vaikuntha Loka, the spiritual world. In that Vaikuntha Loka, every Narayana has his 4 expansions: Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudeva. That Sankarshana is Nityananda. These universes surround the body of the Supreme, and Vishnu is the master of this material nature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So when we want to continue our, devotional service, when we are trying to do it, Krishna himself helps us in 2 ways. From within, because he is in our heart, and externally through the spiritual master. So that's how it is. He is helping us from inside as well as it's his mercy that, if we get a spiritual master, if we are in the association of devotees, that's Lord's mercy. So we should not, take it very lightly. We should make sure we stay in that association and progress. So it's very, very important. Then the 3/4 of the manifestation is Vaikuntha Loka, the spiritual world. In that Vaikuntha Loka, every Narayana has his 4 expansions. Every Narayana. Think about it. How many Narayanas must be there? All this we cannot even imagine. Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudeva. That Sankarshana is Nityananda Prabhu. So the Nityananda Prabhu is Balram, and then Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu. Then Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani. Then Srivasa Pandit is, marginal energy, is a devotee, a pure devotee or something. Now, they all are, forms of the Lord himself, expansions of the Lord. So as the husband and wife combined together, we'll read from here. Who is next? Neha Mataji, Hare Krishna. I will unmute you just a minute.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Krishna.
As the husband, as the husband and wife combine together to create, so Maya is the wife and the Supreme Vishnu is her husband. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. This expansive material nature is my wife, and all the living entities are born of me. How is Vishnu contacting Maya? That contact is also described in the Bhagavad Gita. Simply by a glance, he glanced over the material nature and it become impregnated. This is spiritual. We must impregnate by a particular part of our body. But the Supreme Lord Krishna or Vishnu can impregnate any part by any part. Simply by glancing. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Uh-huh.
Are you able to
Simply
see?
by glancing, he can cause conception. The reason why is found in the Brahma Samhita. The spiritual body of the Supreme Lord is so powerful that any part can perform the duty of any other part. We can only touch with the hand, but Krishna can touch you by glancing. We can only see with the eyes. With eyes, we cannot touch or smell with our eyes, but Krishna can smell and can also eat with his eyes. When we offer prasadam, foodstuffs to Krishna, we don't see that he is eating. Simply by glancing at the food, Krishna can eat simply by saying. We have the idea because we have this mouth that unless we devour the whole thing, we cannot eat. Everything is spiritual that we cannot imagine. We see that we are offering to Krishna and he is not eating. Is it by our imagination that he is accepting prasadam? No, it is not like that. Actually, he is eating. But his eating is different from our eating. Our eating process will be similar to his. When we are completely on the spiritual platform, there every part of the body can act for the spiritual.
There, every part of the body can act for the other parts of the body. Yes, Hare
You
Krishna.
have seen Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
yeah, here. Like here, we know how Brahma was born from the lotus flower, right? Originating from the navel of Mahavishnu. He didn't need Mother Lakshmi to create Brahma. So the Lord has such potencies. So we cannot imagine all that. He can just glance and create everything. It's not like, and all his senses are interchangeable. It's completely transcendental. So that's what it is. Okay, everything is spiritual. In the spiritual world, everything is conscious. Like we're writing the first few paragraphs, everything there is spiritual. Everything is conscious. Here, the table I'm using is not conscious. Right? It's dead matter. But over there, it's not like that. Everybody is serving the Lord in different rasas, like Shantarasa, Dasya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, or whatever. They have these different mellows that they are enjoying with the Lord. So let's continue reading. There is one more Kirti Mataji. This is another Kirti Mataji, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah. Shall I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
You have seen that picture where Brahma is born from the navel of Vishnu, who is lying down, and Vishnu's energy, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is serving him, sitting by the side of his leg. Vishnu does not require Lakshmi to give birth to Brahma. How can then you expect that there is sex life in spiritual world? Sex life here in this material world is required to produce children. But in spiritual world, you can produce children as many as you like without any help from a wife. So there is no sex life there. Vishnu produced Brahma from his navel without the help of his wife. There are many such instances. This is the inconceivable spiritual energy. Because we do not experience spiritual energy, we think these are fictional stories. No, you think that way because you have no conception of spiritual energy. It is so powerful that it can do anything and everything. It has full independence. From each pore of the body of Mahavishnu, this universe emanates, seed-like, and then they develop. They are exhaled when he breathes also. Just as when a man is diseased, the infection is carried by perspiration, by breathing, and by touching. That is scientific fact. If a man is infected with smallpox bacteria, you can simply touch his perspiration and become infected. This occurs even in this material world. So this is also possible. It is not impossible. It simply requires some intellectual capacity to understand. From Mahavishnu's spiritual body, so many universes emanate. When he exhales, they come out, and when he inhales, the whole thing is gone. This is the material universe. Just imagine the existence of each and every universe is contained in one breath of Vishnu. That is stated in the Brahma Samhita. We have calculated the age of Brahma, but actually you cannot conceivably calculate even one day of Mahavishnu. what 42 42 trillions 42 trillion years is only 12 hours of Brahma, and the whole life of Brahma is just within the period of one breath of Mahavishnu. Just consider what is the breathing power of Supreme Lord. That Mahavishnu is a plenary partial representation of Krishna. Next come to Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, from whom Brahma is born. Within that lotus stem, from this Vishnu's navel, there are so many universes. And just as a mother increases the family members, similarly, Brahma was created by Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and Brahma created the whole human society, animal society, everything. Mahavishnu's plenary expansion is Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and his plenary expansion is Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. In this way, in each and every universe, there is one Garbhodakashaya Vishnu and one Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. That Kshirodakashaya Vishnu lies on the milk ocean within this universe, and he is the controller and the maintainer of the universe. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and when it will be required to annihilate the universe, and then Shiva will come and finish everything.
Hare Krishna,
So,
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So here it's given very clearly. Mahavishnu's plenary expansion is Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and his plenary expansion is Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. In this way, each and every universe, there is one Garbhodakashaya Vishnu and one Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. When Mother Earth wanted to pray to the Lord, because there were so many things happening, she was not so happy. There were too many Rakshasas and whatnot. So she approached Brahma. There is a process, she didn't directly go to Krishna. She went to Brahma and said, I need help. So he asked all the demigods to assemble and pray. They prayed to Kshirodakashaya Vishnu actually. They did not directly access Krishna also. Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. And then the message was transmitted. And then they got the message that Krishna is coming personally. So he said, okay, I'm coming. Don't worry. I'm going to take, my crew and come to Vrindavan. So that's how it happened. So Kshirodakashaya Vishnu is very important because he's the one who is taking care of the universe. And then, so you can understand, how many Vishnus, how many Garbhodakashaya Vishnus, how many Kshirodakashaya Vishnus must be there in the entire, in this material creation. We can't even imagine. We can't even count. So let's continue. So far, Krishna Das Kaviraj, from there we have to read. We'll read for 40 minutes. Nandita Mataji, are you going to read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, if you allow.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. So far, Krishnadas Kaviraj has discussed Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, and now he describes Advaita Acharya. In our morning prayers, we sing the names of Lord Chaitanya and his associates, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. They are all expansions of the same one. So Advaita Acharya is an expansion of Mahavishnu. You have seen the picture of Mahavishnu lying on the causal ocean and breathing out innumerable universes. That Mahavishnu is incarnated as Advaita. This Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of that Mahavishnu who creates this material world through the agency of the material energy. Therefore, Advaita Acharya is also the Lord or an expansion of the Lord. Why is he called Advaita? Advaita means non-dual. His name is such because he is non-different from the Supreme Lord. And he's called Acharya, teacher, because he disseminated Krishna consciousness. In this, he is just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although he is Sri Krishna himself, he appeared as a devotee to teach how to love Krishna. So Advaita Acharya appeared just to distribute the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. He is also the incarnation of a devotee. Krishna is manifested in 5 different expansions and himself. All of his other associates appear as devotees of the Supreme Lord. Some of them are like Advaita Acharya, who is an incarnation of Mahavishnu. And one is known as Bhakta Nityananda Prabhu, who also appeared as a devotee. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the source of energy for all devotees. If we take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for Krishna consciousness, it becomes very easy. There is a very nice song. My dear Lord Chaitanya, please have mercy upon me, because there is no one who is such a merciful Lord as you are. You have descended to deliver all fallen souls, but you will not find a more fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim to be delivered is most urgent, because your mission is to deliver the fallen souls, and nobody is more fallen than me. I have my priority.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, very nice. Do you remember this song you sang in the Krishna book class also?
I was trying to recall, Mataji, which Acharya sang.
Narottama Das Thakur, I think.
I'll check, Mataji. All of them are filled with so much humility and say the same thing. That
Daya karo more.
yes. Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Dayalu Jagat samsare. He says, I'm the most fallen soul. Please, I need priority. Give me priority. I have priority. It's like that. I'm the most fallen soul. Imagine you actually gave us the translation also and told us, if he is thinking he is fallen, what about normal people like us? What are we then? Right? He was such an exalted devotee and he is saying, I'm fallen. We are fallen because we are in the material creation and we are here because of our own sins. Basically, we are here because we have to purify ourselves and then go back to Godhead. We have to go back to Krishna Loka. That will happen only when we purify ourselves. Anu Mataji, Hare Krishna. I am going to unmute you. Nandita Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
If you remember that song, you can sing 2 lines, Mataji, later.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you.
Now the author begins by offering his obeisances to Krishna. The author Krishna Das was an inhabitant of Vrindavan. Some incidents from his life will be described in the 5th chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was a great devotee. He had been living in Katwa, a small subdivisional city in the district of Bardhaman in Bengal, with his family, who also worshipped Radha Krishna. When there was some misunderstanding, not on family matters, but about devotional service. In the midst of this misunderstanding, Nityananda Prabhu advised him in a dream to leave his home and go to Vrindavan. Although he was very old, he started out that very night and came to Vrindavan. He met some of the Goswamis there. His tomb remains in the temple where I live in Vrindavan. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The devotees of Vrindavan requested this Chaitanya Charitamrita. He began at a very old age, but by the grace of Lord Chaitanya, he finished this nice, most authoritative book on Chaitanya's philosophy and life, the character and activities of the eternal living force. Because he lived in Vrindavan, there are 3 temples that are very important. One temple is Madan Mohan, another is Govinda, and third is Gopinatha. These temples are one visited by all pilgrims. About 300 or 400 years after the construction of these temples, with the development of the Vrindavan city, many other temples were built, but when Krishnadas Kaviraj was living there, were not so many. The only principal temple were these 3, Madan Mohan and Gopinath. Because he was a resident of Vrindavan, he must offer his respect to the deities. And his first offering in respect is respect. He considers himself as a layman and very slow to make progress. He asks God's favor. My progress in spiritual life is very slow, so I am asking your help. He is offering his obeisance first to Vigraha. Vigraha, according to devotional service, is the deity who can help us in dovetailing ourselves with Krishna consciousness. Our first business is to know Krishna and to know our relationship with Krishna. To know Krishna is to know oneself, and to know oneself means to know one's relationship with Krishna. What is our relationship with Krishna? That is learned by worshipping Madan Mohana Vigraha. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami first established his relationship with Madan Mohan Vigraha. When one is established in relationship with Krishna, then he begins his functions. The functional deity is Govinda. He offers his obeisance to Govinda, who resides in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the place where there are desire trees. Actually, in the spiritual world of Vrindavan, it is explained that the land is of touchstone and the trees are desire trees. Desire tree means whatever you want, you can have. And the Lord is herding spiritual cows known as Surabhi cows, and hundreds and thousands of gopis, who are all goddesses of fortune, worship him. When Krishna descends, the same Vrindavan descends. Just as when a governor or president goes to some place, all his entourage and paraphernalia, secretary, military, everything goes there with him. Similarly, when Krishna comes, his land also comes. Therefore, Vrindavan is considered to be not in the material world, and therefore devotees take shelter in Vrindavan. Vrindavan in India is considered the replica of the original Vrindavan, and so one should accept the trees of Vrindavan as being the same as Kalpa Vriksha desired trees. Now one may say that of the Vrindavan trees, oh, how we can ask anything, but first of all, you should become a devotee. You simply cannot go and test them to see whether these trees are desired trees. Actually, when the Goswamis were there, the Kalpa Vriksha was there. The Goswamis were each under one tree for one night, and all their wants were satisfied. So how could they live in that way unless were there? So how could they live that way unless the trees were so nice as desired trees? For the common man, it seems very wonderful that the Goswamis could simply live underneath one tree one night and the next tree another night and have everything they needed. But it is possible. As we make progress in our devotional service, we can realize this.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. So we finished 40 minutes of reading actually. So we'll do only 40 minutes and then 10 minutes we'll chant. And then that's how we'll do it every day. Okay, we'll not have a very long class. This is short and sweet. So we can understand Vrindavan is very important. It's spiritual. Vrindavan in India is considered the replica of the original Vrindavan. So you can understand the importance of Vrindavan. So we'll do one thing. We'll ask Nandita Mataji to sing her kirtan, and then
Mataji, I'll sing 4 lines
Yes,
in which
Mataji.
he says that my claim is first. The first paragraphs he begs for mercy. Then he says, you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. So my claim is first. Just 4 lines I will sing, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे. तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे. पतित पावन हेतु तव अवतारा. पतित पावन हेतु तव अवतारा. मोसम पतित प्रभु न पाइबे आरा. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे. हरि बोल. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Bol Mataji, thank you so much. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful. He's given us this instruction. He said chant. Very important instruction. We have to chant. As we chant, progress in our spiritual life, it will help us, in a lot of different ways. That's the first thing we should do every day, early morning, is chant. So we'll chant 1 round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra right now. Then we'll close this session and then we'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow 2:50. So everyone please chant. You can keep yourselves unmuted or at least keep your video on, or it's up to you. At least keep yourself unmuted. If you want, I'll stop the